So somebody wrote in that my husband doesn't want to fix our marriage. And I have to tell you that at the Marriage Foundation, we get too many of those, but there's a real understanding that you need to have for this, so that, because this is your problem, this is not insurmountable. My name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and I founded the Marriage Foundation on a completely different set of philosophies and principles. I used to be a divorce mediator, so I have seen what happens when you apply Western psychological thinking to marriage. It doesn't work. The proof of that is that we have over a 50% divorce rate in the West. And it shouldn't be that way. So I'm not going to get into what they're doing wrong, but I'm going to tell you what we do works. When I shifted the practice that I had over to marriage help, I began with a couple of questions that are important for you. 1, why did you get married in the first place? And 2, how did you prepare? So the first question is answered with 2 simple premises. 1, and I don't care, while I was talking, you're probably thinking, okay, why did I get married in the first place? And you probably came up with reasons like, I found my soulmate, it was time to have children, and I wanted to have kids, I wanted to have a family. Great answers, don't get me wrong. But there are higher level answers that those answers fall under, because you found your soulmate. You wanted to have kids. You wanted a companion. Those things make you happy. You believed, rightfully so to a certain degree, that by doing marriage, you would be happier. And that's the answer. You wanted to be happier. You didn't just want to be happier on the day of your wedding. You wanted to be happier every day of your life, didn't you? Of course. The other thing that we never talk about, we always talk about things, and I say we, I mean we, the big general we want love. We're human beings. We have to have love. Some argue, and I agree, that we are love itself, that we're souls. And this is not a religious thing. Love may be abstract in terms of it's not material, but it's a very real, very tangible thing that all of us crave above all other things. Love. You wanted love. And you rightfully believe that by getting married, you would have love. So you wanted to be happy, happier every day of your life, and you wanted ever expanding love. Not just I love this, I love that, ever expanding love that just bursts the boundaries of your heart. So the second question is, what did you do to achieve those ends? We live in a world without magic wands. You can't just go, oh, I wish to have love, and you will have it. No, we live in a world that is very, how shall I say, it's very complex. It requires our free will and our effort to achieve almost anything. Almost anything. You have to know what you're doing before you cook an egg for breakfast. And this is what I'm talking about. You needed to be educated. Unfortunately, in our world, there is no marital education, except for us, that really is pertinent, that really works. So this is the founding of the Marriage Foundation, to share these ideas, these ideals. Speaking of sharing, right now you could subscribe to this channel and learn about marriage from this positive point of view, because what we do differently is we don't attack the problems. Although I'm going to address this problem of yours, that your husband doesn't want to, quote unquote, work on the marriage, but we don't attack the problems themselves. The way we do it is we get underneath the problems. We go right to the marriage and we go, look, if you do this and start doing this and that, in other words, you start feeding your marriage properly. You start running your marriage. You don't just be married, but you take charge of your marriage. Then these things become inevitable. The happiness, the feelings of love, they're inevitable. But what do you do now? Because that's where we are right now. Your husband doesn't want to work on the marriage, so let's take a look at that simply, not in a complex way. He doesn't think it's going to work. That's the bottom line. He's so fed up right now. He's so distrustful. And what is he distrustful of? Well, I could say he's distrustful of you, but that's too much of a burden. He's distrustful that you're basically not going to do what it takes for your marriage to provide to him those things that he wants. You're probably arguing. And what does he want? I already said it. He wants happiness and love. You know, I don't have to tell you, I don't have to point out that he's not getting those things. You're not either. This is no shock. The question is, how do you get those things? And once you start doing those things, is he going to come back to wanting to be married to you? Because this is what it boils down to. Right now, he doesn't want to be married to you. He's looking for escape routes if he hasn't already taken some secretively or been exposed or found out. He doesn't want to be in the marriage. It's sad. And you may say things like, well, I signed up for life. Well, he did too. You know, you sign up for marriage for life, but what if it isn't what it was meant to be? And that's how people rationalize. They say, well, it's not as I imagined, so why should I stick it out? She's not doing what she promised. And now we get to what you can do. A huge percentage of the people who come to us, many thousands of people, have come to us and have been helped by using our course for women. These are the women. The men take the course for men. What does this do? Think of your marriage as a bridge between two souls, a bridge that has to be built. Right now, your husband's saying, I'm done. I'm not working on no bridge building. Well, what if just you works on this bridge? It's still going to be there. He's going to start seeing it. And it's not going to be an ugly bridge of more pain and misery and suffering and arguing and bad feelings and no sex and no love. It's going to be a bridge that says, come, harmony. I will love you. I will be there for you. I will be loyal. I will be filled with the happiness that you wanted. And that will make him transform too. Do you see? You need to transform your marriage. How do you do that? Well, what is a marriage? A marriage is you and your spouse, you and your husband. So, if you transform just one of you, the energy of doing that is going to be much greater than the whole, because you're feeding energy into it, positive energy into it. It's going to be like turning on the light in the room. Even though in his side of the room, he doesn't want to turn on the light, your light is going to shine on his side too. That's how love works. You know, when I was a little kid, I had the weirdest thought. Okay, I was a weird little kid, I admit it. I had the thought one day that I'm going to wait until the sun is shining in the room so brightly, and then I'm going to close the window, close the shade. We used to have these pull-down shades in those days. but I'm going to capture the light. Isn't that crazy? Obviously, it didn't work. I kept trying. But because I had the right idea of what I wanted, but the wrong idea of how to achieve it, it could not work no matter how intensely serious I was. And trust me, I get intense and serious. Same thing with marriage. You could be as sincere as you can be. You could be as intense as you can muster. You could be as determined as you can ever be. But if you don't know how, it will not work. And this is what I did. I discovered what works, and I put it into achievable steps so that you're not just swinging a bat in the dark. You will take steps, and you will have milestones. You will know where you're going, and you will get there. All you have to do is read our reviews, and you'll see. And this is not an advertising so much for the course, which you really should take, but this is an advertising for learning how to be married. You can't do it without education. And your husband doesn't trust the current process because there isn't one. Now, sometimes we hear from women, they go, I've done everything that I can. Sure, like me pulling down the shade and trying to trap the light. I did everything I could that I thought of, and it didn't work. Now, I've worked on the study of marriage, and everything that I share with you does work. And it's explained so that you're not just doing, you're doing what you know will create specific results. Do not give up. This I'm sharing with you from experience. We've been at this for 20 years, and we've seen amazing, shall I call them miracles? But they're not. But we follow a process that does work. We've seen it happen. Read our reviews, and you'll see it's not just me talking about it. I want your marriage to be successful. What does that mean? It means that you will be happier every day of your life than the day before, and you will feel ever-expanding love like you have never felt before. What else is there? Could you ask for more? I don't think so. God bless. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for spending your time with me. Leave a comment. I respond to them. Take care.